Let's talk about those numbers. Quite good numbers there. Sally, what is behind the improvement of those numbers? And last time you were here in CNBC studios, you talked about an expansion plan that would come into play by September. Is this responsible for the boost that we saw in your top line numbers?
Well, thank you very much. As you know, the September second quarter results will be representing precisely the 6 months. Therefore, the new expansion will not be part of the results that you have. So the expansion and the earnings we expect from it will be reflecting in the third quarter. So for this second quarter, you have, as being responsible, a push for higher revenue, a push for products that have a higher levels of margin. These are the issues that are responsible. And of course, we have a little bit of some inflation in the figures because we had some cost push arising from the ministers, the government's increased duty on wage. That affected costs and also cost.
Well, Mr. Babatunde, before we get into some of that duty that actually the government introduced, that 15% duty, let's talk about your subsidiary. You actually have Honeywell Superfine Foods. You said that was a growing part of the business. How much was that a part of the growth we're seeing in your numbers this time around?
Sure, it's very much part of it. They're taking an increasing percentage of earnings. Today you can put it at about 22%. So that is rising, and we expect that to rise even in the coming months. Yeah.
Right, now you were talking about some cost pushes that you saw, and certainly last time you were here you said cost was a major issue. Like you said, as a result of the increase in the prices of wheat, we saw the government introducing a 15% import duty. How did this impact the company's cost? Go ahead and tell us.
Well, clearly, as far as duty was concerned, this was a very, very big, it had a very big impact on costs. But it happened that because our customers had been expecting this, the government had made sufficient news about the fact that duty was going up. I think the customers were prepared for what was to come. So it was not too difficult when, on 1st of July, the new duty began to take effect. Customers were willing to take our products at the new prices. So that sort of cushioned the effect of the costs on our operations. Yeah.
And certainly, what is the company's outlook going into 2013? We're just finishing up the fourth quarter of the year. What is your outlook for the first half of 2013?
Well, as you can see, we've done very well in the first half. We've exceeded even our projections. So in the second half, we hope to do even better. As is always the case with Honeywell, we are always doing better, and the future remains very, very bright. Of course, you know that in the second half, the new expansion will come live, impacting very positively on the earnings. So we should do far better than what you have seen in the first half.
And certainly, I mean, looking at the broader economic picture, what are your thoughts on some of what we're seeing happening in the power sector, for example? Certainly this morning we heard some news that the president has cancelled Manitoba, who was going to be in charge of the transmission company of Nigeria. What impact does such things have on the manufacturing sector and certainly the food sector, because we know you deal in food as well, going forward?
Well, so far, all other things being equal, we can say that we may not expect the power reform to impact positively very quickly, but we carry on as usual. We do not put in our budgeting or in our expectations any improvements in the power sector. If it happens, it's a bonus. If the tariff is favorable, it's a bonus. Otherwise, as far as Honeywell Flour is concerned, we remain powered by gas, which is far cheaper today than diesel. So, but the main concern about Manitoba is that doing business in Nigeria it doesn't really favor, it's not very positive on doing business in Nigeria. Once the committee had announced who was the winner, I thought that we might have left it on that note, but of course the president knows best. I hope this can be very quickly resolved by government so that a new operator can step in very, very quickly.